breakout cycle of financialization is perhaps the most abstract yet powerful leap in our history because it represents the moment humanity learned to hack time itself. Before this breakout, the superorganism was limited by a hard physical ceiling. You could only build, eat, or trade based on the energy and resources you had right now. Financialization changed the geometry of our species' trajectory by inventing a way to pull the future into the present. By creating credit, debt, and the abstraction of value, we broke out of the limitations of the current moment and allowed the collective to bet on its future potential. This wasn't just a new way to trade. It was a structural expansion that provided the massive kinetic energy needed to fuel the industrial and technological revolutions that followed. To understand the scale of this, you have to look at how a macro breakout like financialization filters down into a micro breakout cycle for the individual. A micro breakout is an intersubjective shift in your own lived experience where you finally see the code of the system you are living in. For many, a personal awakening regarding financialization is a jarring moment of coming into consciousness. It's the realization that money isn't just stuff, but a claim on future energy and a tool used to coordinate human behavior across time. When an individual has this micro breakout, their internal psychological functions undergo a reorganization. They stop seeing the world as a static place of objects and start seeing it as a dynamic flow of obligations and potential. This individual experience mirrors the larger species-level cycle. Just as a civilization hits a wall and must innovate its way into a new financial structure, an individual often hits a wall in their own life, perhaps a debt crisis or a career dead end, that forces them to upgrade their internal operating system. In the framework of objective personality, this is often the moment where a person is forced to confront their demon functions to survive. They move from a narrow, subjective view of their finances to an objective understanding of how the global superorganism actually breathes. This micro breakout doesn't change the world, but it fundamentally changes the lived experience of the person within it, allowing them to navigate the complexities of the macro cycle with a higher level of agency. By looking at financialization, we see that every macro breakout cycle is essentially a scaling up of these individual micro breakouts. When enough people undergo a shift in consciousness and adopt a new way of processing information, it creates the momentum for the entire species to punch through a resistance level. The financial breakout allowed us to coordinate millions of strangers toward a singular goal of growth, but it also set the stage for the massive pressures we feel today. We are now living in a world built entirely on the success of that previous breakout, where our individual lives are inextricably linked to the abstract future we've already spent. Would you like me to